Hello guys, welcome to Codersclash YouTube channel. In this session, I'll try to explain different data types we have in Oracle SQL. I'm going to start with the number data type. Generally, for creating tables, we need two main things. First one is data type and second one is constraint. Constraints I'll try to explain in my next video. In this video, I'll focus mainly on data types. Okay, so first one is number data type. Number data type, what we can do, we can store number values. Create table T1. Here I'm going to take ID and I'm going to take number, and here I'm going to mention number of 10. That means we can store up to 10 characters. If you use number of data type size 10, that means we can store up to 10 characters. Here I'm going to insert some values in this. Insert into T1 values. I'm going to insert 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. So here I have inserted 10 characters. See, one row inserted, and if you want to see the data, select R from T1, and here you can see the inserted value. And here I'm going to take one more value here, that means 11 characters. I'm trying to insert this one, and here you can see we got an error, SQL error, value larger than the specified precision value allowed for this column. That means we are trying to enter 11 characters in the 10 data type size field. You got my point? The maximum size we can store is, for this number data type, the maximum data size is 38. Okay, we can store up to 38 characters like this. I hope you're clear. So second one is I'm going to explain how we can store decimal values. So before I'm going to explain the decimal values, I want to use this number data type to store the decimal values, how it will give the result. Okay, so I'm going to copy this insert statement here. I'm going to mention 10.5. Okay, I'm trying to insert this value here. We're not getting any error even if we are trying to insert decimal values in a number data type. We are not getting any error. One row inserted, it is showing. I'm going to check the data, and now here you can see it has inserted 11. That means internally Oracle will do the round function. It will use to round the value, whatever the value we have given, to round the value to the next values. For example, if I try to insert 10.4 here, and here you can see one row inserted, and if I check this one, and here you can see 10 inserted. That means you're trying to insert it in decimal value. If the value is above 50% or equal to 50%, then it will try to round the value to the next value. That means 10.5 is 5 means 10.50, so it is equals to 50%, right? So it will try to insert the next value, that means 11. And here you can see 10.4, that means 10.40, it is below 50%, right? So it will try to insert 10 value. For example, 50% means I'm saying like consider 0.5. This one is 0.4, right? So if you consider 0.5, that is, this is 0.5 means it is half of the value of 1, right? That means it is equals to 50%, we can say. Consider 1 is the main value and 0.5 is the half of that 1 value, and 0.5 means it is 50%, right? In that one, you got my point? So it will try to insert equals to 50% or above the 50%. It will try to insert the next value, and below the 50% it will insert the lower value, whatever the value that we are trying to insert. So next one, I want to insert this 10.4 in this. So for that one, we need to use a data type called number of P comma S. P means precision, S means scale. I will show you like what is this precision, what is the scale. Trying to create a table, I just want to copy this one. I'll use this one as T2. So here I'm going to create a table T2 ID number of 4 comma 2, 4 precision and 2 scale. Okay, I'm executing the statement table T2 created and insert into T2 values. I'm trying to insert this 10.4 decimal value here, and here you can see one row inserted. Select star from T2. If I execute this statement and 10.4, we have successfully inserted decimal values in this table. I'll try to explain what is this 4, what is this 2. Here I'm trying to insert 10.45. okay, inserting value inserted. Select star from T2. You can see 10.45 also successfully inserted. I'm going to increase the decimal value to 10.456. okay, inserting one row inserted, and here you can see what could be the value. You can guess it before I execute this select statement. You can guess it. Here I'm executing. You can see 10.46. that means it took this 56 as in this insert statement I have explained, right? Consider this as a 0.4. so here you need to consider this one as 0.56. okay, because we have mentioned here the scale value 2. That means this value, this data type, it can store up to 2 digits after the decimal point. okay, so that means it can store up to this one. Whatever the value after this value, it will try to round this two. You got my point? It will try to round these two. That means 56. 0.56 means it will go to 0.6. okay, so like this, that means it is above 50%, right? So it will consider this as the next number. So it will consider it as 0.6. You got my point? So if we take this one, so 0.456, so it is considered this as a 6, and here you can see 10.46. So here I'm trying to do one more crazy thing here. I'm trying to insert 100.45. Okay, I'm deleting this one. 100.45. I'm executing the statement, and here you can see the error value larger than the specified precision allowed for this column. That means here you can see I have mentioned 4, right? Precision value 4. That means we can insert only 4 characters here. Combine this decimal before this decimal one and after this decimal point. So both combined, we can only insert up to 4 characters. This is the max size of this decimal of this number data type. You got my point? For example, here you can see I'm going to mention this many digits after the decimal point, and I'm executing this statement, and here you can see one row inserted. We didn't get this error because I'm trying to insert so many characters, but I'm not getting any error because it is rounding this after this decimal point. It is trying to round this all this number, right? So it won't throw any error. But before this decimal point, if I trying to insert this one, so it will consider the scale is fixed one. The scale value is fixed. That means it will always store 2 digits after the decimal point. This one is fixed. We cannot change it. That means like I'm trying to insert 3 digits before the decimal point, so total 5. So it will throw an error. You got my point? So after the decimal point, you can insert n number of characters. It won't throw any error because it will always trying to round this number, and it will take only 2 digits after the decimal point. You got it? So this is called number p comma s. Here, if I'm trying to insert this one, I'm trying to remove this one. So I'm trying to insert this one, we'll get 10.46. Here you can see 10.46 we get. That means you can simply understand, for example, here 0.457, we can say 0.457 we have, and we are considering 2 digits, right? 2 digits after the decimal, and consider this value also 0.057. Okay, so if we try to round this value, we'll get 0.06. I'm going to do one more thing. I will try to insert 0.45. You should guess the value. It will try to insert 0.45. Here you can see 10.45. That means here what it will do, 0.045. So if you try to round this value, it will give 0.0 what we have mentioned, 0.045, right? So it will try to give 0.5. That means it is equals to 50%, right? So it will throw 0.05. For example, if I try to insert 4 here, and I'm executing this statement, and guess what could be the number? So here you can see 0.044. So if you try to round this value, 0.04. Okay, so I have already inserted one row inserted, so I'm trying to check the value. So it could be 10.44. So I'm trying to execute the select statement. Here you can see 10.44. So this is the math we need to do to insert this kind of values, the decimal values. Okay, so I'm trying to explain the next one, char data type. Char, you can insert size here. Okay, so this char data type, basically it is used to store alphanumeric characters. So before in these two data types, we can store only numbers or decimal values. We cannot store any alphabets, right? So by using this char data type, we can store alphanumeric characters. Alphanumeric characters means both numbers and alphabets. So here I'm trying to create a table. Let me copy all these statements. I'm trying to create a table T3. Here I'm trying to type a name here and character. I will explain with the mobile number, so then you can get some idea. Mobile number space, we need to specify the data type, char of 10. Okay, here you can see I'm creating a table 3 created. I'm trying to insert the values. Here you can see mobile number, right? It should be like 10 digits, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. So I'm inserting this value, one row inserted. We write a select statement start from, and here you can see the mobile number I have inserted, and also it can hold character values also. I'm trying to insert country code in this. So for character values, we need to use character values means nothing but a string values. That means we need to use a single code if you want to insert any string values. So for example, here I'm trying to insert a string value +91. This is Indian country code, right? I'm trying to execute the statement, one row inserted, select start from T3, and here you can see +91. Okay, so if you are not specifying the single codes, it will consider as a number. And if you try to execute this one row inserted and select start from T3, and here you can see It is not considering this plus. Okay, and here you can see 91. So like this, insert values and characters into this char data type. And also next one, I will try to explain varchar. So after this, I will try to explain the differences between char and varchar. So this char data type, it can store up to 2000 bytes. Okay, this is the max size for this. So you can put up to 2000 here. I'm going to do one crazy thing here. I'll try to create a table with more than 2000. See what will happen. 1001. I'm trying to execute the statement, and here you can see the error ORA00910 specified length too long for this data type. So I'll try to create it 2000. It is showing, okay, name is already created, right? So we can, so it is not throwing the same error like this one, but it is showing that table is already created, right? So we can store up to maximum 2000. I will try to create a t4 using this table t4 created. Okay, so this is the max size. We cannot create more than that. But here I'm trying to use a varchar data type, but it took varchar2. I'll show you. I'll try to explain this one. So before this, I want to create a table with a 4000. First, I'm trying to drop table t5. Okay, I'm trying to create a table with this table t5 created, and here if you try to describe t5 table, and here you can see varchar 2 of 4000. It is taking varchar 2, but the max size for varchar is 2000. Okay, you got my point. So the char data type can store alphanumeric characters, and varchar also can store alphanumeric characters. I'm not inserting any values in this table, but it can store the same thing. Okay, and next one, I will try to explain varchar2. Here I'm trying to create the same table t6 here. So here I'm trying to mention varchar2. I'm creating table t6, table t6 created. I'm describing the, here you can see varchar2 of 4000. I'm trying to put one here. I'm dropping a table t6 drop. I'm creating with the 4001. It is showing too long for its data type. That means it can store only 4000. Okay, I will try to explain this char, varchar, and varchar2. So first one is char. Max size is 2000. Store alpha numeric characters. Okay, coming to varchar. This one is also max size is 2000, and also it can store alphanumeric characters. So the main difference between these char and varchar is both are same. There is no difference. But here char is fixed one, fixed storage. Varchar is variable storage. That means fixed storage, variable storage. I will try to explain. Here we have created a mobile number by using char, right? Char data type char of 10. That means Oracle internally, it will allocate fixed size for that field. So here it will allocate 10 bytes. Okay. For example, here I have inserted a country code, right? Plus 91 I have inserted here where we have inserted plus 91. So here I have inserted country code plus 91. That means plus 91 is only 3 bytes. Plus 91 is only 3 bytes. But Oracle will allocate by default 10 bytes for this one. It is not using 10 bytes because we are not storing 10 bytes of value. We are just using 3 characters. That means 3 bytes. So, but Oracle will allocate 10 bytes of size for these 3 bytes. That means it will use these 3 bytes. 10 minus 3. It will use those 3 bytes, and the remaining bytes, 7 bytes, are we can consider it as wastage. You got my point? We are not using these 7 bytes. So we can consider these 7 bytes as wastage. But varchar here, if you are trying to insert that same plus 9, 3 bytes, it will allocate only 3 bytes of size, 3 bytes of storage for that value. Okay, that means like we can consider this as a fixed storage, and we can consider this as a variable storage. And coming to varchar2 also has same characteristics like varchar, but here we can store the max size is up to 4000. Same characteristics. varchar2, it can store up to 4000. But here the magic is, even if you are trying to use varchar in Oracle, it will try to create a table by using varchar2 data type. Okay, but other databases, if you use varchar, then it will create a varchar data type. But in Oracle only, after 8th edition, Oracle make this varchar2 as a default data type. Even if you use varchar, it will create a data type varchar2. You got my point? Next one is date data type. This date data type is more important. Create a table t7. I'm creating what we can birth date. using data type. Here I'm executing the statement. Table T7 created. I want to describe a table. Describe T7. Here you can see birth date. Data type is date. So here I'm trying to insert value. Insert into T7 values. Here I'm going to insert 10 June 2023. Here I'm using this format, but I'm using it like a string value, and let's see what will happen. Here you can see one row inserted, and I'm going to execute a select statement for this one. Start from T7. Here you can see 10/6/2023. It is storing it like a 10/06. I have mentioned June here, but it took 06, and I'm giving like full year. It is taking it as a 23, that last two digits. Okay, so here we can insert values, and here I'm trying to insert like this 10/06/23. Let's see what will happen. I'm pasting this one. I'm taking it as a string, and here you can see one row inserted, and select start from T7, and here you can see 10/06/2023. So here I want to show you, I'm going to use one date function to underscore char of. Here we are doing birth date, right? Birth date, comma, here I'm giving dd y. Okay, from T7 table. Here what I'm doing, I'm trying to fetch the data in this format, dd y. So here you can see 10/06/2023, 10/06/2023. Here you can see, you can observe in this insert statement I have given specific year 2023, but in this second value I didn't give any year, any specific year. I just mentioned 23. That means it could be 2023, or it could be 1923, or it could be 1823, right? But I didn't mention any specific year here, but it has inserted 2023. You got my point? That means if you are not giving any specific year, Oracle internally it will take current year. This is data type. Next one, I'm going to give long data type. This long data type, as of now, we have created tables by using max data type size 4000, right? That varchar2, it has the max size. But in our data, like if we want to store above 4000 bytes, then we can go with long data type. So I'm going to explain long data type characteristics first. Max size up to, you can store 2 GB. Okay, you can store up to 2 GB. Here it will store all for numeric characters, and here one more main thing, we cannot apply primary keys on this. Okay, and one more thing, we can only use one long data type per table. For example, trying to create a table, create table T8. Here I'm taking it as a name. I'm going to use a long data type. Here I'm create a table like this. Table T8 created. Trying to describe the table. Here you can see I have mentioned long data type. I'm going to alter the table. Alter table. Instead of alter, I'll try to create another. I'll try to create T9. I'm creating name with a long data type, and address also I'm using long data. Here you can see what will happen. Here Oracle is throwing an error. What does it mean? A table may contain only one column of type long. That means we can only use one long data type per table, and it can store up to 2 GB data, and we cannot apply any primary keys on this long data type field. So these are the main data types we have: number of p comma s, char data type, varchar, varchar2, date, long. So these are the basic data types we have in Oracle. So as of now we are doing only basics, right? So these data types are enough to create a tables and for practicing SQL select statements and everything. We have other data types also, like a blob, clob. So these are other data types we have, but these are the basic ones. So in my next video I will explain constraints, and if you want to know how to use constraints while creating tables, you can see in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys in my next video. Have a great day. Bye bye.